me guys, do you think I broke girl code? Hi guys, so it is Netta, of course, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you're new here, you might as well click on that subscribe button, okay? And don't forget to like, comment, and share if you're old. Thank you so much for coming here, and today you guys are here to see how I met the father of my son, okay? It started in high school, so you know it's like a little bit of drama through the years. It's been like 9-10 years now. But keep on watching and tell me guys, do you think I broke girl code? Okay, because that's like a big question. And you guys get to see how I came up with this natural beat here. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and here we go. It all happened back in 2011. And hear me out, okay? I was in the 10th grade 2011, because you know how school years go, like 2 years, it's like 2 years split or whatever. So whatever year is starting off is the grade year that I'm in. So it was like really, damn, hold on. So it was like 2010, 2011, I was in the 10th grade. And I was in lunch, right? And everybody was like, yo, y'all seen this new boy? He's new to the school, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, who? So everybody's like, him right there. So it turns out he was, I don't even know if he was in that lunch wave or if he was just like in that lunch wave. Because I don't know. I remember seeing him the rest of that year because he got into some shit. But that's another story if you want to hear the shit he got into in that lunch break. So he was like sitting at a table like over there. I'm at my little table with my homegirls, and then his table over there with some boys that he knew, you know, previously, but he was new to the school. And I think he was like a senior, but or was he a junior? He was something, but he came from another school in another city, but still the same state. So when you transfer from that school specifically, your credits get a little messed up. So you gotta end up doing a few extra classes or like a year at the school that he just transferred to, which was my school. So everybody's like, yo, you see him? He's so cute, da, 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 da. And I'm like, he's straight or whatever. So I'm like, somebody go up to him. Like, y'all over here like saying he's so cute, just go up to him. And he didn't, you know, look intimidating. So everybody's like, no, I'm scared, da, 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 da. And I'm like, y'all some punks. And I was like, I'll go up to him. They was like, you won't go up to him. I'm like, girl, I'll go up to him. So I went up to him and I'm like, hi, I'm Netta. I'm sure I didn't do all that. But I'm like, hi, I'm Netta. He was like, I'm Avery. Whatever he said. I basically told him that all of the girls at that table that I was just sitting at, because that's where I was at the moment, all of the girls at that table thinks you're cute. Is there anyone over there that catches your eye? And he looked at the table with a little hesitation, because we wasn't no bad bitches, let me say that. Because one, when I was in high school back in the day, we did not do all this makeup, wigs, all that stuff. Like, it just, that wasn't our wave back in the day. Whatever. So we was kind of looking, you know, our age and a little busted. So he was like, I can't say you. And I'm like, no. I just came over here to relay a message, da, 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 da. So then he's like, oh, well, that girl over there is kind of cute. He was talking about my friend that has some nice hair. I don't know if I want to use names. Well, she's happily in a relationship now with a female, actually. So I just want to say, like, if you are watching this, I'm glad that you finally felt comfortable enough to come out, and yeah, I'm happy for you. I hope you guys last for a really long time, but the story time is not about that, so we're gonna keep going. So he said my friend was cute or whatever. So he was like, her with the nice hair, she's cute. And I was like, all right. And I was like, well, you're just gonna be my best friend. Like, I think I just said it like that. I was like, so give me your number and I'll just relay the message and, you know, bada boom, bada bam. So over time, we started texting, but we wasn't like, okay, in high school, I was like very, very prudent. Like, you couldn't get me into no type of trouble. No, sorry, none. No type of trouble. I was one of those kids where it's like, ew, you smoke, you should stop smoking. Smoking's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. So I was very prudent, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get into a lot of trouble. I didn't like hanging out with boys by myself. You know, I was that girl that just like, you know, no. I'm like pretty scary. I'm scared of everything. So, we're texting. We flirted, you know, here and there because him and the girl's number that I gave him, the one with the nice hair, they didn't really end up talking. They didn't talk that long or start communicating that long. So, mind you, I was the first girl that talked to him in our school. So, you know, it was probably just meant to be. They didn't like text that long, and he was a very social person, and he already knew people from around the neighborhood of where my school was and where he moved, and he played football and stuff. So he was like, he wasn't like new to his surroundings, but he was just new to the school. So, you know, he fit in very well. He started, you know, making his own group of friends and started talking to girls that interest him. And it was just like, girl, I thought he was quiet on the first day, but little did I know. So, you know, we had text, we flirted, this, that, and the third, but I always called him my best friend. Like, I always called him my best friend. And that was it. We was just best friends. We flirted, but I was a little punk, so I never did anything. And we never really hung out like that outside of school. And we just texted a lot because I really thought we was best friends. But, you know, I guess he just wanted your girl. So, boom. That's how we initially met. Moving on to the next year, when I was a junior, he, I don't know. He had to take a few more classes because I told you the credits like get messed up or whatever. So he had to take a few more classes. So he was there at the school every now and then. Not like, I don't really recall seeing him, but I know he was there or whatever. So I think that was the year when we started doing homerooms by last names or whatever. So my last name, as you can tell, is Woods. So there was another girl in my homeroom with the same last name. So we're just like talking, getting to know each other. As soon as she found out we had the same last name, it was automatic. Like, she was like, oh my God, we're cousins. So I'm like, okay, guess I got a cousin. So it was like, oh my God, we're cousins, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. She seemed nice. And she had came from a school that my aunt used to work at. So, you know, we had like a couple things in common. She knew my aunt. That was really cool. And yeah, we had the same last name. So we just like connected off of that. So she's talking to me and I'm getting to know her, blah, blah, blah. And she's telling me like, cause she's new to the school this year. So she's telling me like, she has a couple of friends that goes here. Her boyfriend goes here. And, you know, like, she's not a stranger to her surroundings either. But this is her first time being at this school, her first year at this school. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's cool. So we didn't really hang out that much throughout the school year. But whenever we had homeroom, which you have 4 times a year for each semester, we will always sit next to each other, try to catch up as much as we could, blah, blah, blah. But the first day at our first homeroom, she's like telling me who she knows around the school and this, that, and the third. And then she goes, yeah, my boyfriend goes here. His name is Avery. And I'm like looking around like, oh. Like my best friend didn't even tell me he had a girlfriend this whole summer. So, but mind you, like I said, I didn't talk to him on that type of level. Like, oh, who you talking to? We should talk, da, da, da. We didn't do anything. So it was like none of my business. But I was just like surprised. Like, as my best friend, you couldn't tell me you had a girlfriend. That's rude. So, I was just like, oh, wow. Like, I know him. I didn't tell her like that was my best friend or like we text or whatever. Because like, I didn't want their relationship to be like in trouble or whatever. And we didn't text like that, but like, you know, like that. Okay, so I figured like if she don't know that we text at all, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I be texting him, and then she thinks like it's something else, because it was never anything like that. So I was just like, oh yeah, I do know him. I think I told her I used to call him my best friend or something like that. So yeah, turns out he was going out with her, and I was just like, damn, he ain't even tell a sister, whatever. So that's that. They went out for a very, very, very long time. Like it was like on and off for them. I don't want to be nosy, I don't want to get into their situation, but yeah, it was like on and off or whatever. So blah blah blah. So obviously me and him did not like continue texting like that. I kind of like fell back, because I was like, if this girl is like, she's calling me her cousin, so I can't like, you know, entertain him. At one point in life, I just felt that he was so annoying. Like I hated him. I really did. I hated his soul. No, that's rude. I didn't hate his soul, but I just hated being around him. And he would always come like into my lunch wave with this girl Terrell. She was in my lunch wave. I love Terrell. We both flew up because y'all, we was looking a little rough back then, but y'all, we some snacks now. So I was in lunch with her, and he will always just come into that lunch wave and just like bother me. And I'm like, dude, like leave me alone. Like I really don't like you. I don't know what happened and what like changed the switch or whatever, but I didn't like him. I just did not like him. So all of that happened or whatever. That's pretty much it for 11th grade. That's like all the drama that happened there. So yeah, it caught me off guard that he had a girlfriend. That was definitely in my homeroom now, and that now calls me cousin. So I could not, you know, even if I did grow up a little bit and decide I want to talk to him on that level, that was a dub. But whatever. Dub that idea, and we just like, I don't know. So then my senior year, I think he was out of school then. And like, was it senior year? No, it wasn't senior year. So like senior year, I didn't really talk to him that much. But when I did see him, I did say like, hi best friend, you know, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't mad at him anymore because he didn't go to the school, so he didn't like annoy me. So when I did see him, it was just like nice to see him or whatever. So he even ended up going to prom with the girl, and I seen him at my prom with her. So that was like, it wasn't awkward because we still wasn't talking like that, but we had started to text again, like as friends or whatever. I wanted to like talk to him or whatever, but it's like, once again, you just never know what these niggas be telling their girlfriends. And with me and him, it was just never that serious, because senior year, I was still like prudent. I still didn't do anything. So ladies, you had nothing to worry about. After we graduated, I moved in with my sister at these apartments or whatever. And I remember one time, it was the first year out of high school, And it was my first year living with my sister. And I was just like, I told his girlfriend, the one with the same last name as me, I was like, do you want to come over? Because I don't know if we were texting or whatever. I don't know what we was doing. But anyway, I asked her if she wanted to come over or whatever. And she came over and we just had like a really good time. Like we was, I don't know if we were old enough to go to the club, but probably not. Because if I had just graduated, I was probably like 17. So we weren't old enough to go to the club, but I had like club dresses. Because, you know, I was about to be 18, so get prepared. She came over and my other cousin was there, Khadijah. My other cousin Khadijah was there. So we was all just hanging out, trying on clothes, you know, just killing time or whatever. So then she actually ended up like leaving my house late that night and going to spend time with her boyfriend, which was Avery. So that was like one of the last times like me and her actually hung out. I can't figure out which one is darker, guys. This one or this one? This one or this one? This one or this one? That was like it. And they ended up breaking up. I guess, I don't know when they ended up breaking up, but they ended up breaking up. And it was like a time in history when like group chats were real lit or whatever. So it used to be him, me, my cousin, and one of his friends that used to be in a group chat. Like, and in the group chat, we would just rap. We would just play like games. We would just talk to each other. And it was like a pretty lit group chat. I like that group chat. Whatever. So then he puts me in a group chat with one of his friends from another state. And me and that friend started talking or whatever. But I was like, I'm sure he won't mind because I don't know what his situation is. And every time we used to be like in a group chat, he would try to talk to my cousin, y'all. And then he would try to like put me on with whoever was his friend in the group chat. Who does that? The group chats, they weren't that serious. Like nobody ever really hung out in person. And it was just like, yo, I dropped some foundation on this white shirt. Whatever, y'all can't see it. So nobody ever really hung out in person. So the group chat was kind of like something to do just to kill time or whatever. So one day he put his friend in the group chat or whatever, and his friend, we all just like sent pictures of ourselves to get to know each other because this guy lived in another state. So like we had never even seen him before and he had never seen us before. You know, what can I say? He just took a liking to me. He thought I was cute. So me and him started texting. Actually, we started talking on the phone first. So me and him started talking, and all that. And like eventually he decided that he was gonna come up to CT and like finally meet me in person and to visit Avery because hello, that's his friend. That's how we met. So he was coming to CT to visit Avery and to like meet me in person. So he gets to CT, right? And I finally meet him. The connection that we shared over the phone, gone. As soon as we seen each other in person, that connection that we had over the phone was just like non-existent. It was like we just didn't connect in person. It was weird, and that's like crazy. That's why I'm happy where me and Avery are today. But if I ever met somebody online or just over the internet or whatever, I am not, absolutely not committing to you until I know that the connection is real in person, because that was just like a life lesson, because we were talking for a few months and then as soon as we met each other in person, it was just like, no, this is actually pretty awkward and I'm actually not comfortable. So he goes back home to his city or whatever, to where he's from, and we wrote each other, and we was just like, actually he wrote me. I was feeling the same way, so when I got the text, I was just kind of like, all right, cool. So he wrote me and he was like, hey, like, the connection isn't really there. I don't think we should really talk anymore. So I'm like, I understand. I agree. So that's what happened there. After that, me and that boy, we did not talk, like, at all. Like, we barely talked. And when we did talk, it was when, like, he called Avery and I just happened to be with Avery and we was like smoking or something. Because I think by that time I was smoking. So then one night, should I make this a part 2? So one night, this was when I had already started college, you know what I'm saying? And I had made, a couple of friends. So one night I was hanging out with this boy that was in a fraternity. And my sister, was my sister in a sorority? My sister was, I don't know if she was about to like join her sorority, but now she's in a sorority. I know that. I just don't know if she was in it back then. I don't think she was though. So I was hanging out with this boy, my best friend Janae, my sister, and we was all drinking his fraternity's juice. And I won't say the color or anything like that, because once I say the color or the name of it, it's just gonna be a given. So we was drinking some of his fraternity's juice or whatever, and that shit had me off my rockers. Like, I was dead. I was gone, bitches. I was gone. Me and Avery, we had made plans to see each other earlier that day or whatever. So, while I'm drunk, I'm like, I ain't letting these plans like just fade away. Like, what? I'm like, I'm not letting these plans just like go to waste. So I called him and I was like, come over. Because I literally lived right next door to my friend. So I was like, come over or whatever. So then he's like, all right, I'll call you back. Da, 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 da. At this point in his life, he was like single. And like doing his own thing, like turning up all the time. Because I would always see him like, was it on Snapchat? I would just always see him having mad fun with different people. Never the girl like with my last name. Like, I guess they were like done for real. So then he calls me and he's like, yo, I'm about to pull up. So I'm like, all right, pull up. He drunk, y'all. I'm drunk. So I go out to the car and we spent some QT time together. That's all I'm gonna say. Next day, I just felt like shit because I was like hungover and drunk and shit. So next day, I don't know why, but his friend from another state, from the other state, just popped into my head. And I'm like, dude, don't forget to blend that, y'all, because some people be looking crazy because they be forgetting, and then they got like a line of that ain't your skin complexion right on their thing. So yeah. So his friend from another state just popped into my head, and I'm just like, yo, we gotta tell him what happened. So he's like, nah, we don't. And I'm like, dude, we do. And he's like, nah, because he's gonna blow it out of proportion. I know him. Like, I went to school with him for a long time. I know he has a temper. So I'm like, oh, okay. Then we won't have to tell them, da 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 da. And I was just stuck on, we don't have to tell him, because I ain't trying to get cussed out. We don't talk like that anymore. Anyway, when I tell you, like, we did not speak ever since we met each other in person. A couple months go by, I text Avery a little bit more, and I still do not text the friend from out of state. And then randomly, out out the freaking blue. Out the freaking blue. The friend from out of state gonna text me with some damn laughing faces. So I'm like, what the hell is he laughing about? As soon as I ask myself, what the hell is he laughing about? It automatically just clicks in my head that this nigga Avery has gone against our pact here and told him what happened. Mind you, I didn't tell y'all what happened, so don't be letting your mind just go off. Just listen to what I'm saying. So I'm like, really, nigga? So I'm like, I already know, like, blah, blah, blah. So I text Avery, and I was like, you told him what happened? And he was like, yeah, cause da 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 da. And I'm like, my dude, like, one, you could have gave me a heads up. Hold on. Okay. So I'm like, my dude, like, what the hell? One, you could have just gave me a heads up. Okay, so I didn't have to get a freaking laughing at me text message. Y'all, I'm hot. I don't know if y'all can tell, but a bitch is sweating. But I'm just like, yeah, bro, like, you could have gave me a heads up. Like, I'm about to tell him, we talk about you right now, so it might come up into conversation, da 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 da. So I'm just like, oh God, whatever. So I think me and Avery just ended up like spazzing on each other or whatever. So then ever since like that happened, kid you not, me and that boy started texting again. Like, well, first of all, let's just say he told me this. He said, he told me straight up, which I really do respect, that he will never be with me. And I was like, well, damn, okay. So I was like, you know, in my head, like, the connection wasn't there anyway. So I have no problem being your friend. That's cool. So we just started texting again as friends, you know, blah, 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 blah. And he... yeah, I don't know how to bake, so if you're like, you're putting it in the wrong spots, I don't care. Me and Avery, we had stopped texting for a while. So then before I knew it, one day, I was talking to my new best friend, kind of, on the phone, and he was telling me that Avery was in his city or whatever. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't really care because, you know, I just didn't care at that time. So then, before I knew it, Avery was back in our, I don't want to say hood, because back in our town. He was back in our town. And I was talking to my new best friend, which is his friend, and just about like everything. And he was like, yo, you know, Avery's going away. And I was like, where? And he was just like, he's just going away for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you lying. But okay. So he really did go away. He went away for like a couple years, actually. So I would say that was like in 2016. Like, that was in 2016, all that happened. And then he ended up going away for a little bit. After he got back, we had just like reconnected again. Like, during the time he was gone, I kept like having this like random ass feeling like, yo, I gotta talk to him. I just gotta talk to him. And it was like randomly. So it would just like randomly pop up in my head to write him for his birthday, or to say happy New Year's or Merry Christmas, you know, something like that. So I didn't have like any of his contact information. So I would just write to his Facebook and like hope like one day he'll see it. So I used to do that or whatever. And sorry y'all, this shit is taking forever just to get the freak off my face. So I used to just randomly do that or whatever. So then 2 years had passed, I believe. 2 years had passed, and it was like mid 2018 he had came back, and I was about to leave for California. And I was talking to the friend that lives out of state. Not talking to, but I was talking to him. I think he was about to have a baby. And I think I don't know what stage he was at in his life, but we were like super cool as to like where he would tell me, this is the Fenty, y'all. I'm just using an eyeshadow brush. We were like super cool as to where he would tell me like his like girlfriend problems, and I try to help him, and like we was like that at that point. Like we was just like mad close. I was leaving to California. I don't know if you guys remember when I went to Cali, but I was leaving to California, and that was like the week that I had seen Avery again after 2 years. But let me just say this, which is very, very like random, and I just got to clear this up because you just never know. The girl with the same last name as me, she had we had randomly started like writing each other one day, and it was just like, oh, come over. And you know how like you tell people every day like, yeah, we'll hang out, but you never really hang out? That day we really hung out. And it had been like years, you know, since we had actually hung out or whatever. So that day we had actually hung out, and we was just like recapping, you know, we were recapping. And I didn't know when he was coming back, and I don't think she knew when he was coming back. So we was just like recapping. We were talking about him. We were talking about high school. We were talking about the day she had came over and we were trying on clothes. Like we was just talking about so much. And like I just felt like I had to clear that up, that it was random, because literally he came back like a month later or something, like a month or two later, and me and him were just hanging out like every day. And I just don't want it to seem like I was just hanging out with her to see like where her head was at with him, because I really did not know when he was coming home. So yeah, he was, I can't find my brush. Well, I know where it is, but I don't feel like getting it. So when he got back or whatever, we was legit hanging out every single day. And like I said, hold on, let me just get this together real quick. Okay, so boom. We was hanging out like every single day, kid you not. So like eventually we just started developing feelings for each other. So then like he just became my bestie again. So he was legit saved in my phone as bestie, like nothing more. We just hung out all the time, and I called him my bestie. At that time when he had just came back or whatever, and we were like hanging out more, that honestly, it did cause friction between me and the boyfriend, because we didn't talk every day at that point, but we had talked like once in a blue moon to catch each other up on life, because like I said, he did have girlfriends in the meantime, so he couldn't talk to me like every day, because hello, he had a girlfriend. So he it was like one time I had called him, and it was like I was randomly feeling like I needed to talk to Avery. So I was like, yo, is there a way, because I knew that he still talked to Avery. So I was like, is there a way that you could just like get his information and give it to me? And then he was like, yeah, da 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 da, and he never did or whatever. So I just went online and like figured out where he was, you know, and got his like address and stuff. I'm not weird, so whatever. Got his like address, and damn train. Hold on, we'll just wait till that clears. So I had gotten his like address and information and stuff, and I had wrote him a letter or whatever. So he had never wrote me back, and I'm like, yo, what's good with that? Like, what did I do to him? Why he not writing me back? Da 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 da. So then he's like, the boy that I was talking to about him, he was like, yeah, he not gonna write you back because he back in town. Okay, so now I'm like kind of confused, because I'm like, all right, one, Last time I asked you how he was, you said he was going away. Now I'm asking you how he is. Damn. Now I'm asking you how he is, and he back all of a sudden after 2 years? Really? Where was he? I thought he was lying to me. So I was like, so how long he been back? And then he was like, this week, da-da-da. And I'm like, you're lying, whatever. Like, I don't believe anything. But turns out he was back this week. And ever since he got back, like, me and him, we just, like, he was at first saved in my phone as bestie. And then, like, we just started hanging out more, and it changed to bestie. And then we had a moment, y'all. This is how we knew we both liked each other. We was in my car smoking and listening to old music. And then Party Next Door comes on. The You Got Niggas and I Got Bitches. That song comes on. So he looks at me and I look at him, and we just both start laughing because we definitely knew, like, that was what was going on. Like, he was back and he had his females all lined up or whatever. And while he was gone, I was out here just living my life. So he had his females and I had my niggas, but we still kind of felt that we wanted each other. So we just looked at each other and we just started laughing. And then just after that, it just, like, gradually became like me and him. So it was just like cool or whatever. So it became like, you know, me and him. We didn't really care what, like, other people had to say, because it really wasn't like we did it intentionally and we started liking each other. Like, okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna start liking you. You're gonna start liking me. It was like, no, not even like that. So, you know, it was kind of cute or whatever, like, how we just started liking each other. And that moment with Party Next Door was definitely cute. Like, that was actually, like a moment to remember. Like, I remember that. And if I bring it up to him, he'll remember it. And yeah, so 2 years later of hanging out every day and drama and love and hate, we are about to welcome our son into the world very soon. So, yeah. But what I really want to know is, how many people would say I broke girl code? Because me and her did call each other cousins. I can say that. We did call each other cousins, but we were never that close as best friends. And we never shared, like, information about our lives like that. So, y'all think I broke girl code? Because I don't think I broke girl code. I mean, had I known what the future was holding, I definitely would not have chilled with her when I did that day, like, months before he got out, because that just seems sketchy if you don't really know that it was not intentional, because it wasn't intentional. It's like, it's not like I knew he was coming home. It's not like I stayed in contact with him while he was gone. Well, you know, we, like, shared, like, a few moments every now and then while he was gone, but that was, like, in the beginning of him leaving. So, and then at the end, we just started to reconnect again. So let me know if y'all feel like I broke girl code, because I don't feel like I did. But if you think I did, just let me know. I'm strong enough to handle it. Yeah, and I just, like, at this point, I just, like, I want to raise my son in, like, a happy home. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm looking forward to. I don't really care for drama no more. Because, you know, I used to be out here, beating bitches up. But, yeah. I'm going to give myself 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take this off. Well, 3 has already passed. I'm going to give myself 7 more minutes, and then I'm going to take this wrap off and close out this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to tell me if you think I broke girl code or not. And just if you enjoyed the video, okay? So I'll see you guys in a few. Okay, guys, so I'm closing out this video. So, you know, like I said, comment down below if you think I broke girl code, and tell me if you enjoyed the video or if it was a little like here and there and you need me to like just shorten the shit for you, because I will. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in another story time, because I got a few more that I want to talk about. And next video, we'll be preparing for my baby shower. So we'll be preparing for my baby shower, which I'm having August 30th. And you'll get to see the makeup that I'm doing, the theme of the party, and you get to know my little boy's name. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!